you're here. Yeah, we're so glad you're here. Oh, we're so glad to be together in unity. Then you will. Right? All right, let's just take a breath together, kind of get centered for just a moment. I will walk back just a little bit. There's just a little bit of a hum. You want to turn me down just a tad. And then I'll use my preachery voice. Let's take a breath and just kind of relax, let everything else go. Just be here now, right? Let's say together, I'm here, on purpose, on divine assignment. I have been appointed to be here. This is where I'm supposed to be. I'm always at the right place at the right time. All right, give yourselves a hand. We've been, how many are reading the book, Pray Big? What do you think? Okay, all right. We would love any feedback or reviews that you might have. Just send it to us, or you can go to jamesking.org and you can give us some feedback there. Is that correct? Not yet, but you will be able to. See, in my mind, I already had it all worked out. But then things have to be manifested in this so-called physical world, right? Which includes Leah. So anyway, the book is still available. We still have some copies left if you'd like to get a copy. And we'll be in the back right after the service. So I want to talk to you a little bit about aligning with the higher mind. Aligning with the higher mind. And praying boldly. Say it with me, I'm bold. I'm bold. Right? How many know it's important to be bold? See, prayer is not the last thing you do. Prayer is the first thing you do. Because it's through prayer that you align yourself with the universal forces and energies. Okay? You align yourself with the higher intelligence. How many understand there is a higher intelligence that's guiding every one of us, right? And it's inside of you. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the threefold nature of mind. Tell the person next to you, say, ooh. Yeah. So I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell really quick. Higher mind is the conceiver. The brain is the receiver, and the persona is the perceiver. Now, we're going to break it down and talk about each one. Did you get that? So the higher mind is the conceiver, the brain is the receiver, and the persona, the personality, is the perceiver. Say it with me. Ah. All right. So the higher mind, the conceiver, this is the realm of divine ideas and inspiration. Do you ever wonder where books come from? Where thoughts come from? Where ideas come from? Comes from the higher intelligence. And it channels through you, right? How many know you're a channel? You're a channel. You're a channel of divinity. Acts 17:28 says, in God we live and move and have our being. Isn't that great? Amen. So we are contained within spiritual presence. We're not outside of, we're in it. Say it with me, I'm in it. Amen. All right? Think of it like Wi-Fi. You can't see it, but it's everywhere. Broadcasting divine intelligence. It's how my arm knows to do this, right? It's how your legs know to do this. Make sense? Because there is an intelligence that makes it work. It's in you. So the higher mind is that infinite signal of wisdom. You ever need wisdom? And that higher mind is pouring through us as ideas, solutions, and creativity. Remember when Jesus told the disciples, he said, the Holy Spirit will be poured out on you, and you will receive it, and you will be filled with joy, with peace. And you'll know what to say in that day or in that hour. You'll know what to do. Because I, or the Spirit, the spiritual presence, is always with you. Isn't that good to know? Say it together, I am never alone. Not ever. Right? You are never alone. Have you ever had a light bulb moment? In the shower. That's where I get a lot of mine. I'm in the shower just minding my own business, washing my hair, or whatever. And all of a sudden, God starts talking to me. Or 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey. I need to talk to you. Can't we do this during the daytime? Well, you won't listen during the daytime. So we're talking right now. You're too busy. And it's the truth. And so that's the higher mind getting through. Because your brain finally got quiet. Let's take a breath of that. Quiet enough to hear that still small voice within. It's a beautiful thing. Now, the brain is the receiver of all of this. And that's what the brain was created for. Make sense? The brain is the instrument that translates spiritual ideas into thoughts, images, and plans. It needs stillness and space in order to catch the downloads. Right? So, this is kind of like a brain, isn't it? It doesn't create the signal, it just receives it. If the phone is cluttered with too many apps running at the same time, or you're in a noisy environment, the signal what? Gets weak. It's the same with the mind. Same with the brain. Now, your brain is your mind is what uses the brain as an instrument to come through, right? So many people are really stressing out over meditation. If I could just meditate like that root guru guy for 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 50 years, then maybe I might get a little bit of enlightenment. How many know that's something that you don't need to tell yourself? The key is not if you're meditating right or wrong, it's are you allowing yourself to experience stillness? Let's take a breath right now. There it is. There it is. That's it. If you go throughout the day, take a deep breath in the morning and listen, pay attention. Notice what you're looking at. Notice what's around you. Notice the people. Feel and read the energy that's in the room, wherever you are, right? Notice the pictures on the wall. Are they talking to you? Are they speaking to you? Notice the animals moving around in nature. Pay attention. You come from the stillness, and when you're in the stillness, you are connected to everything else because there's stillness in everything and in everyone. Isn't that beautiful? We all have that in common. Say, but yeah, I don't get still too much. Well, you have to. You need to, right? And it doesn't mean that you do it, if you do it for 5 minutes a day, that's great. Here's what happens. You spend a little time in stillness and you become not addicted, but it's where you crave it. I need my quiet time, right? I need my alone time. Do you ever feel like that? And that's your spirit telling you that spirit wants to talk to you. Spirit wants to be with you. And so, okay. And so you get alone for a few moments. And then you just allow yourself to receive those wonderful downloads from spirit, right? So don't stress out over, whether you're meditating right or not. Everybody's got their ways of doing. I remember the first time I meditated, I sat down on the bed and sat cross-legged and fell asleep, right? So the next day I tried it again. Kept going to sleep. So I just kept after it every day. I didn't give up. I did not say with my mouth, I guess meditation doesn't work or not for me. I can't do it. Because that is my prayer. I said, I will continue to practice it. I will just keep doing it. And as I did, I stayed awake a little longer. Minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was. I don't remember now. It's been a long time ago. But cultivate more quiet inside yourself. Playful, joyful moments, right? Sometimes inspiration comes not from deep meditation, but while coloring with your grandchildren, right? Or savoring a cup of tea. Drinking a cup of tea is a very spiritual thing, if you let it be. In Japan, the idea is to drink the tea without the cup, without the tea. And so there's some of these sages, they'll every day they pour their tea and they breathe. They smell the tea. Ring it again. And after they stop ringing, they take a drink. And they savor the tea. They enjoy the tea. They feel it as it goes down. And if you notice, where does the tea go? Pay attention to where it goes inside of you, right? And you'll notice it kind of goes down. Interesting, right? Just pay attention. And the more you do that, after a while, they can sit there and have that experience without the cup of tea. Isn't that great? You can do that too. You can do it too. So, the other part of the mind is the persona. How many know that your persona is the perceiver? It is your perception of reality. Okay? This is the self that interprets and expresses divine ideas. The persona is not bad. Say with me, I'm a good kid. You are. Your persona is not a bad, evil, awful thing. It is just an instrument through which Spirit flows through. And when you can just see it in that way, then you understand its purpose. Right? It's not bad, and it's your personality. It's your style. How many know we all have style? If we didn't all have style, we'd all be wearing the same clothes. You know, if we didn't have this particular way of seeing things, we're all unique in our own way. You don't have to kill your persona, because if you kill your persona, that means you no longer exist in this world. Your persona is what keeps you in the world. Say it with me. Oh. Right? You need your persona. Make friends with it. Bless it. Put your arm around and say, hey, persona. Take your persona out on a date. You know what I mean? You're sitting around and, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. How you doing? You know? And get close. And just, because what happens is we treat, what is that old saying? Like the wicked stepchild or something like that. But anyway, we don't treat ourselves with respect. How many know there's a lot of experience that you've had? There's a lot of things that you have learned. There's a lot of stuff you've been through. Say it with me. I've been through stuff. Yeah. And some of it more real than others. So your persona is okay. Just let it be. Stop judging it and just appreciate it. If you appreciate it, then it will get on board and it will express more of the good, the positive, the higher, right? The beauty, the love, the peace. Does that make sense? How many are learning how to make peace with yourself? Because if you can't make peace with yourself, how in the world are you going to be at peace with your neighbor? Or with the other party? Or with your spouse? Or with your in-laws? Etc., 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 right? You have to make peace with yourself. By aligning your personality with the higher mind. See, my persona is the servant and friend of the higher mind. In the Bible it says, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. Isn't that interesting? And so, you can think of your persona like a GPS voice. When it's aligned with Spirit, it calmly says, in 1 mile, turn left toward peace. When it's misaligned, it panics. Recalculating. Where are you even going? You ever feel that way? So there's the misalignment versus alignment. Misalignment is when the persona is ruled by fear, doubt, and the negative ego. And that blocks the flow of the divine power. Are we learning anything this morning? Right? Alignment is the persona surrendered to Spirit. So let's say it together. Put your hands up. Say, I surrender. All right, thank you. A persona that is surrendered to Spirit is receiving inspiration on a regular basis and is expressing harmony. See? Is expressing harmony. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Isn't that beautiful? See, there are forces that are working on your behalf. with you and through you. Make sense? You know, it's like a farmer doesn't beg the ground to produce crops. Right? You better grow those tomatoes and potatoes and carrots and stuff, or I'm going to be mad at you. The ground doesn't even think about that, right? But the farmer aligns with the laws of nature. And he knows that in the same way, prayer isn't begging God or telling God what to do. Now, see here, God, I'm going to tell you what to do now. This is the way things ought to be in my life. Well, how many know that divinity is not the problem? My spouse is not the problem. My barking dog is not the problem. Right? What is the challenge? It is aligning my persona, surrendering to Spirit and saying, I am one with God and God is one with me. Say that about 10 times today, would you? I am one with God and God is one with me. Yeah, it feels really good. So that's aligning with divine law. See, this is how life works. This is how it really works, right? So affirmative prayer is alignment. Alignment. We recognize that God is our source. And so we breathe. If you ever feel out of alignment, just pause for a moment and breathe. And then you feel it. I'm back in alignment now, right? I'm in alignment. And you realize that divine truth is present with you right now. Okay? You align your thoughts, your feelings, and your words with that truth through your prayers. And then you release it all with gratitude and with trust. Say it with me. Trust. Thank you. It's a big word for a lot of folks. Ernest Holmes said, prayer is a declaration of truth. It is not begging or petitioning, but an acceptance of what already is in spiritual form. It already exists. Your destiny is with you now. Okay, you're carrying it with you. Isn't that great to know? And so just a little bit of stillness, a little bit of attention, positively focused attention, you start to get it. And you start expressing it. And, you know, the divine is not going to make you do something that is not you. Right? It's you. You have the gift. You have the talent. How many know that you're in this world right now because you have the gifts, talents, and abilities to be here? You're supposed to be here. Let's say it together. I'm supposed to be here. And what are we? We are a stabilizing influence in the world at this time, bringing calm and bringing peace and bringing compassion and understanding. But what about them or they or those people over there? Well, stop focusing on them so much, right? How many know instead of poking fun at the other person's backyard, you need to look in your own backyard? When's the last time you pulled the weeds? Say, uh-oh, James, you've stopped teaching and you've gone to meddling. All right? So, if I had a seed in my hand right now, what kind of seed would you want it to be? Soybean. Okay. She likes soybeans. You said a mushroom. Or not mushroom. Mustard seed, yes. There's all kinds of seeds that a farmer will hold in his hand. And he doesn't say, all right, seed. What does he do? He plants it in the ground because he knows the process. I mean, no, you know the process. Just do the process, right? Do the process. Plant it in the ground, water it, and trust the process. Yeah, but there's something else I should be doing. How many understand that if there's something else you should be doing, you just keep walking, and what happens is Spirit will... That's what happened to me. I was in the Indianapolis Public Library, minding my own business, by the way, and I came across these bookshelves that I had never really looked at before. And anyway, I started to walk away and a book fell off and hit me on the shoulder. So, well, that was rude. Picked it up. It was a guy named Joel Goldsmith, you know. I read it. And, well, that's interesting. I started to put it back and something said, no, take it with you. So I took it with me. I remember going home. I had all these books because I love the library. I always loved to read, you know. And I took it with me and I read through it. And it spoke to me on a different level. It was very mystical and enlightening, and it just spoke to me in that moment in time. And from that point, I went from there being a fundamentalist ministry who didn't know how to put the fun before the middle into a unity minister. Now, it was a pathway. It was a process. I had to, right? Where are you going? Well, I don't know for sure. I remember we went to a couple's house, and they were having a little yard sale, and they invited us over for a cookout. And so we were there, and we were sitting at sitting together, waiting for the food or for the grill to get hot. And I noticed a big old pile of books, and there was these big blue thick books at the very top. I said, well, what's that? So I walked over there and it said, A Course in Miracles. Okay. I didn't know what that was. So I picked it up, and when I opened up the flap, it said, Property of Unity Church of Indianapolis. So actually, somebody stole it, I guess. No. I said, well, how much do you want for these 3 big books? He said, $1. Sold. This is a yard sale. He didn't know what it was either. And I remember opening the book and going, oh, aha. And it spoke to me, you know, and it was part of the path. You understand? And there are different books in my life and different people in my life, different teachers that showed up in the right place at the right time because I was at the right place at the right time, stumbling my way towards enlightenment. You know what I mean? But how many know that's okay? Because Spirit is directing your path. Spirit is directing your path. So, let's affirm together. I connect with the higher mind. The divine intelligence. Which is all knowing. All loving. And all good. Isn't that great? So, when I pray, I want to pray bold. Instead of, God, please help me. Now, that's better than nothing. Right? Sometimes the most intelligent prayer you can pray is, help! Right? But when you learn a little bit and you want to make your prayers more powerful, you say, God's strength is my strength. I move forward with courage. That's a prayer. What is a prayer? It is a vibration. It is the activity of divinity within you. Okay, sending signals out to the world saying, courage, strength, moving forward. That's what we're doing. Does that make sense? How much time? Oh, it's 11:11. Of course it is. So I'm going to go real quickly through the Hebrew names of God. Just a few of them. Is that all right? So, Adonai Shema, I am present. God is here now. I rest in divine presence. Take a breath and rest. How many know you can rest anytime? You can rest anytime. Jehovah Jireh, God provides. I give thanks. I have everything I need whenever I need it. I remember the other day I was at Costco and it was crowded. Isn't that unusual at Costco? Anyway, it was very crowded and they didn't have any carts, so I needed a cart. So I looked around, there was no carts. They were all being used. And I was there, so I wasn't going to go home. Do you do that same thing? Yeah. So I'm going to go in the store, and I walked up to the lady and I said, I noticed there's no carts out there. She said, yeah, we've got people working on it. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm just going to walk into the store and trust that I'll find a cart somewhere. So I walked into the store, just like that. And down aisle 5, there it was. Just shining like a beacon. And I walked over and got it. And then I went and got my supplies. Went through the line and was out of there. Right? How many know that the divine will provide for you, even in the small things? You ever need a parking space? I know there's places that we go, and there's this one place that we decided we wanted to prove that this works. And so every time we go there, we affirm together, I always get the best parking space. And every time we go there, Leah, you tell them this is true.
It's true.
We always park right in front of the front door. And this was just an experiment, just an experiment. I always get a good parking place, right? You say, but James, what if you go and you don't get a good parking space? Then you don't worry about it. You park where you have to park and then go, right? The key is don't make a big deal about anything. Be okay with whatever is. Can you do that? Of course you can. You have the ability to do that. Jehovah Jireh, the provider. Jehovah Rapha is the healing presence. Divine life restores every cell of my being. Pray that every day for a couple weeks, right? Divine life restores every cell of my being. Recently I had a couple surgeries that I went through, and there was a little bit of pain. So I began to affirm health, wholeness, well-being. And instead of resisting the pain, I just went into the pain. And the pain just kind of dissipated. Because, a lot of times it just wants attention. How many know everything wants your attention? Everything. Everybody. Because attention is presence. Right? So I give it a little presence. And I noticed the pain would lessen. And I felt better. They said, do you want to take these pills? I said, no, thank you, because I know what those pills do, right? So I just claim my wholeness and well-being. El Shaddai, which is the mothering nature of divinity. It is the breasted one, right? And it is all sufficiency. It is the divine mother that cares for you. You know, a little child comes to the mom and says, hey, I fell and hurt my leg. Can you kiss the boo-boo? And mom, through her magic, kisses the boo-boo, and you know what? The child quits crying and the pain goes away. Isn't that something? The Divine Mother cares for me. I am cared for. I am cared for. Now, if I'm not seeing it, it's because it's there, but I'm not recognizing it. I'm not being open to it. I'm blocking it in some way, shape, or form. Make sense? And she talked about, in the Daily Word, Leah, Jehovah Shalom, or Yehovah. They didn't pronounce the J's back in the day. It's divine peace. Divine peace. Peace fills my heart and flows through me. Right? I claim peace even when the world around me appears chaotic. I claim peace. What do you want, the chaos or the peace? Right? And then the last one is El Elyon, which is most high. How many's ever been that high? Right? I rise to the highest truth and soar with spirit. I rise to the highest truth and soar with spirit. Does that inspire you? Does that speak to you? Does that feed you? Right? So, we're all rising higher. One of the comparisons in the Bible is that God is like an eagle. And how many know that eagles have microscopic, telescopic vision? They can see a fly that's a few hundred yards away like they're right next to it. Isn't that amazing? And eagles, they don't fly around the lower places, the lower realms. They don't hang out there. They hang out in the high rocks and the high cliffs. And that's where the little babies are. And they stay in the high places. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's close with an affirmation. Let's say together, I align with the higher mind. Divine ideas flow into my awareness. My brain receives them. And I perceive their manifestation with joy. My prayers are bold, clear, and transformative. Say it with me. Woohoo! All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. That understands you, that knows you more intimately than you even know yourself. And in the stillness, we connect. And we begin to receive here, now, all that we need in this moment. And all that I need to do is breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And then a light begins to come on. And clarity begins to come. And my physical mind begins to open up. And I start to get these urgings, these subtle feelings, these hits from Spirit about who I am and why I'm here. And downloaded to me is the energy and the power and the presence. And then in that energy is also instruction. How to do whatever it is that I need to do. And ideas begin to come to my mind. And plans begin to form and shape themselves within me. And I begin to write them down. I begin to talk about them. I begin to share them and express them through my persona, my personality, through me. And I just keep walking, one step in front of the other, knowing that I am guided now. I am directed in this moment. I know what to do. In that moment, in that day, in that hour, it will come. And I trust. I trust. And I allow. And I become a living prayer. I become the prayer. Everywhere I go, I'm vibrating my energy, sending out signals through this divine network, drawing to myself all that I need, the people that need to show up, the circumstances, the books that fall into my hands. It's all becoming more clear and more clear and more clear. I am clear. You begin to state it. State your clarity, speak your clarity, and then walk in it and allow for it. Can you hear that? If you know of someone that you'd like to hold in this moment, whoever it might be, invite them in. Invite them in. Maybe get a picture in your mind or whisper their name and say, join us here now. Be made whole and well and free. So surround them with your love, invoking the power and spirit of grace and peace. Peace. Let it be. Let it be. Breathing gently, easily now. Turning everything over to the higher mind, the higher intelligence, the higher power. The Most High. The all-sufficiency. Where everything that we need exists and is coming through. We remember our nation and our world today. We speak peace, peace, understanding, reconciliation. More insight and clarity, and may the truth come forth in all the ways that it is needed. We speak truth, whatever that is. We see everything being revealed in truth. So we hold that energy. Jesus said, when you pray, forgive. If there's anyone or anything that you're holding in your heart that you need to release, I invite you to forgive now. And just simply say, I forgive you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you. And let the healing get started. So I invite you into the stillness for just a moment. And appreciation and gratitude and trust. Take a breath and remember the stillness throughout the day today. Take it with you. It's yours. Say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. All right.